Hi guys, back with a review of Chucky, episode 4. So I reviewed the other episodes in my first Let's Chat stream, which I'll probably be doing another one of those either sometime in the weekend or next week, but we'll see. So yeah, recently I've been rewatching the movies, and man, I really love the Chucky movies, especially the first. Well, not the well, the first. Well, the second one. I think that always used to be my favorite. But then, after rewatching the movies, wow. I don't know what I was going to say the first one. Because the first one's kind of like a setup to Chucky. Like, giving you, like, insight in the lore. 2, we just get Chucky at his best. 3 was a pretty good setting. But I've always liked the second one the best, I guess. But then, after rewatching Bride yesterday, man, I think I like Bride the best now. At the moment, because I'm still rewatching the movies. I remember which one's my least favourite. It was between Cole and the other one. The one in the hospital. But yeah. And then I did like the 2019 reboot, but I can see why people don't really like it now. Because, getting to see Chucky at his best. Yeah. And Tiffany, like, she's fun in Bride of Chucky. Yeah. I guess I'm watching Seed of Chucky today. I think I'll probably review those movies in the future. But it's good to watch these, shows again, so I've got more insight to what's going on in the TV show, so my memory's, like, refreshed, because it was a while since I last watched these movies, so it was probably a good idea to rewatch these movies to know what they're going to be doing in the show, especially with what they do with, like, this baby and this woman. Like, are they hinting on who they could be? But I'll get into that with spoilers. But yeah, this was a pretty good episode. I think I still prefer episode 3, but episode 4, probably the second best episode, and it's got to the point where I probably have, like, a favourite character now. Obviously, I'm watching this for Chucky, but yeah, Devon, he's actually getting interesting now for him to learn a lot about Chucky already. Yeah, compared to all the other characters in the show, including Jake. Yeah. So yeah, I guess I will just get into spoilers now anyway. So I just want to first talk about who that woman and the baby could be, who kicked the ball over Jake. I wonder if she knows who Jake is as well, because that was just that was too convenient. So probably a lot of people are gonna say this, but I think it could be like that woman could be Tiffany, and the baby's Chucky's son from the Seed of Chucky. But we'll have to see, because that's a movie I haven't watched in a long time, like my kid days, and I was watching these movies when I was kids. So yeah, I can't really remember what happens with Tiffany and Chucky's son. I mean, she was in the hospital movie, right? Yeah, but as a human, so she does become a human again. I already know that. Yeah, just can't. I can't really remember what happens with the son though. So yeah. But yeah, basically, I think those people in the hospital are Tiffany and Chucky's son, and maybe they're looking for Chucky because they probably got a sighting of where Chucky is. Like, maybe they have, like, a police radio or something to know where Chucky is. Yeah. And imagine if they make that baby talk, I'd be like, really? Imagine that, like, the baby talks. Just like his son in the movie, yeah. I mean, that'd be kind of weird to do for this show, so yeah. I don't want it to be looking like Son of the Mask or anything, so yeah. But yeah, back to Devon. Yeah, Devon, I really like. It's got to the point where I actually really like Devon, where he's probably my favorite character. Yeah, for him to learn so much about Chucky in one episode, do all that research, because I don't know what he was doing in the previous episode with listening to Jake's voice on a recording. Like, I don't know if he's, like, suspicious of Drake, but after this episode, I think he's still with Drake, but then trying to still be with Lexi and just find a way to make him get along. And by the end, I guess they've got the same goal, and they're both aware of what's actually happening, that, Chuck is the one who's doing all these killings. But then we also get, like, a big scene with Lexi and Jake, with Jake telling Lexi about Chucky, and, what happened in the talent show was actually Chucky talking, so yeah. Man. And the big one, you know, Jake sending Chucky to kill her, but then she gets mad about that. But we're just still not really happy with her. So they do try to make us feel sorry for Lexi, even though it's kind of, to me, it's her fault all this happened for how she treated Jake. Yeah. But it gets to a point where they're on the same side because Jake wants to stop Chucky because, you know, Oliver got killed and that was even the target, and then everyone else got injured, including Devon, who I guess he likes. Yeah. And even Lexi's sister, who's an innocent, I guess. Unless she's going to be a future serial killer or something, because I don't know with her. But I think she has like a condition, like, yeah, so maybe that's why she's like that. I don't know. But yeah, also we do get a clue in this episode, like this cop who's, so basically I'll get to the point where Lexi and Jake go back to the house to look for Chucky. It gets to a point where I guess the stairs or ceiling breaks, and she's like, basically Jake's making a decision at this point where he can either let Lexi die and fall to her death, or bring her back up and just focus on taking down Chucky together. And then Chucky's there with his burned face. Like that's a cool scene. Yeah, saying to just let go, and this is what you was made to do. Well, it didn't mean to say that. It's just basically it's like destiny. Like this moment, like this was supposed to happen, and this was the moment where he really chooses, like, is it going to be more on Chucky's side or do the right thing and take down Chucky with Lexi? But he chooses to save Lexi because he's not a killer, even though he did try to kill her by sending Chucky to Lexi's house, and then he got burned and everything. But he didn't really want that to happen, so yeah. So from that point, a cop comes, which I was saying. He basically takes Chucky and puts Jake and Lexi in the cop car. When they arrive to the hospital, Lexi goes in, and then Jake gets stopped by Devon's mom because Devon thinks Jake's the one who's possibly responsible for these murders, because the Chucky doll's always at the murders, which is kind of convenient. So she's thinking, like, does Jake have something to do with this, and questions him. And then getting back to the cop. So basically, Chucky's with the cop. He's being holded by the cop, but then I guess he's just pigging out, eating everything, even Lexi's sister's food. And then Chucky's just sneaking behind him, stabs him. He falls on the floor. Basically, becomes a cop kebab. Yeah, if you've heard that line from a movie before. And then he just injects him with all these needles and just goes crazy. Yeah, that's probably the best death so far. I'd say second is probably the one they made in the second episode. The other two deaths, yeah, not that great. Episode 3 and episode 1's deaths could have been better, but episode 4 and 2, great deaths from Chucky. Yeah, I gotta love Chucky, man. Especially after rewatching the movies. But yeah, really good episode. I guess it ends off with Chucky kind of cutting the power from the hospital, because man, this is like the perfect place for Chucky to kill people, man, and how he can just get away with it as well. with people being hooked in machines, like, and then like just all the things around, it's easier to kill people inside a hospital. And to me, this episode's better than all of that movie when Chucky was in the hospital, because I hated that movie. God, yeah. And it did take a long time to get to the parts where I wanted to see Chucky, but they also gave us like flashbacks of Chucky when he was a kid, but a bit older, like maybe his teen years. He was basically in a care home. He basically had a problem with his janitor just because he was dirtying, Chucky's shoes. Well, Charles's shoes, because he was called Charles back then. Yeah. So he killed the janitor, and he shows these kids. Some of them went away, one stays. So I guess he's going to be like a future serial killer, and he was possibly Charles's first friend. Yeah. But then, Chucky leaves anyway. Charles leaves, but he gives him a gift of the janitor's hand. Yeah. So I don't know if we'll see them together again. And I would like to see the way how he meets Tiffany as well. That'd be cool. I mean, we've got a bit of backstory about that, but yeah. In Bride of Chucky, but yeah. I'd like to fully see how they actually meet. That'd be cool. And yeah, I do think it is Tiffany in the hospital with the son, but we'll see. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much everything. Basically, Jake, Devon, and Lexi see Chucky in the hospital as well, where the parents find the bodies as well. Well, the body from that police officer. And there was also arguing. It definitely got heated when Jake's uncle punches like Lex's dad. Yeah, it got really heated. Then they discover that body, man. Things like just crazy right now, and everything's pointing on Jake. So he's probably gonna get arrested in the next episode, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, because he's in an Andy situation right now. But yeah, I should probably end it here because I don't want to go on for too long. But yeah, really enjoyed this episode. Really good one. If I was going to rate all the episodes so far, episode 1, 6 out of 10. It was average. I was looking like, I'm not going to like this show. I'm going to drop it. Episode 2, a bit better. Yeah. Actually going to stick with the show, and I like the direction they was looking like they was going to go in. And in episode 3, 9.5 out of 10, because I really liked what they did with that episode. Apart from the ending, everything was brilliant. Episode 4, 9 out of 10. I would have give it more if we got to see a lot more of Chucky, because he wasn't a lot in this episode, but I still like what they did with Devon and the other characters. So yeah, that's my rating so far of the whole show. It's a really good show, and if I haven't seen it yet, you should definitely check it out. I'm just rewatching the movies as well, so I have more story lore to follow and what they could be doing with this show. And when Andy and all them come, the OG characters, that should be fun. But yeah, guys, that's it for my review. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.